Hi guys and welcome. As you can see from the title of this episode, I and my mechanic alias Crazy Muppet at the backseat, we both bought Biohazard BMW 7 Series individual with 174,000 miles on the clock.
Hey, why are you calling me like that? And by the way, it wasn't my idea to buy that stinky moldy thing.
Because when this project doesn't go well, I have to blame somebody for that failure. And who can be better than you?
So again, it will be mechanic who's at fault.
That's why you have to do your best, my friend. Word failure cannot be in your dictionary. Then I'll get you for your miracle on that stinky moldy thing, like you call it, a lot of blueberry muffins.
I have to think about it.
So back to our audience. From the title of this video, we should point out the word biohazard. Why? Well, because that 7 Series that we bought stinks musty and the headliner has mold in it, and who knows where else this mold grew over the time. Obviously that's the reason why we're not sitting in it. But why would somebody was that crazy to buy a car with a mold in it? Well, because that 7 Series is special, with very rare individual options such as full merino leather interior, which was at the time top premium BMW leather option, which includes the Alcantara headliner with stitching that even Maybach can jealous.
But I believe that nobody will jealous on that mold in it.
Shut up. Next we got the individual steering wheel with the Napa leather on it.
I would say worn out leather on it. And as well, the rest of the leather in that 7 Series is the same story. Obviously.
Yes, we can see that, but it's still repairable.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. That door is jammed or what?
Child lock. Just sit and listen.
I don't think that I want to.
The door panels and the dashboard are as well covered with the leather, which is soft to touch, and also everything is nicely stitched for the perfect finish. It's really big difference compared to the regular 7 Series. And the individual stuff is not everything that this 7 Series has. There is much more. For example, one of my favorite, the dynamic drive. Next, the electronic damper control, the Logic 7 sound system, the soft close door, and so on. Only downside for some of you can be that it's just equipped with a diesel engine. So what do you think? Does it stay for bringing it back to its glory days? Simply no. I'm crazy, but not as that much. There are more issues than just mold in the interior and worn out leather. Firstly, bodywork have multiple scratches and big dent behind the real wheel arch, and that would be very expensive to fix it. Not mentioning that the rust found the way to the 7 Series on many spots already. For example, battery compartment and many other spots. And that's not everything at all. The Logic 7 is failing, then something is wrong with the electronic damper control, and on the way home from a cellar, the one of the pipe for the dynamic drive had burst. But at least the engine and the transmission are faultless, which is very surprising by the condition of that 7 Series. Especially when you imagine that somebody was trying to fix clogged sunroof drains by sealing the sunroof with some sealant or a glue. And that is most likely the cause of the issue with bad smell in the interior and mold in the headliner. So why then I bought this very neglected Biohazard 7 Series? The reason is the interior. I would like to use it for this 7 Series. Some of you know it from the previous episodes. This is the 7 Series with the V8 petrol engine that I bought cheaply just for 1,400 pounds with 80,000 miles on the clock, with few small issues. It's got a similar spec, it's just missing that very rare individual interior and electronic damper control that I would like to retrofit. Maybe you're thinking why to hustle with all that upgrades for some fancy leather and the Alcantara upholstery, which is anyway damaged. Well, I like fancy options in the car that are very rare. I know that at the moment it doesn't look very well, it's more like a disaster, but in this episode we'll try to do something with that mold in the Alcantara upholstery. So let's find out if that risk with the Biohazard BMW worth it, or it will be financial loss. So buddy, I think it's your turn.
And is it health safe to work on the car with the mold in it?
Of course it is. My father was driving that car on the way home from the cellar for 2 hours and he's alright.
I think he was complaining about some cough lately. Does it something to do with it?
No, not a chance. He's a big smoker, so that's why.
Yes, sure. Alright then, I'll do it. But prepare a lot of blueberry muffins for me.
Good boy.
So here we have the Alcantara headliner infected by black mold across the entire surface. I'm going to start with smaller parts such as C-pillar covers, since I don't know how Alcantara will react to cleaning products. For one part I'm going to use the mold remover from the furniture clinic, which is great for leather, fabric and wool. At least that's what the bottle says. In the second bottle I have pure vinegar. And here is the result of applying the products on the Alcantara parts. On the left part I used the mold remover and on the right part I used the vinegar. It's clearly visible that both products failed to remove the black mold. So I went for a tougher solution, which is Sealed Bank Black Mold Remover itself. I know that it contains bleach and can cause color fading, but I don't think that on that bright color can do any harm. Firstly, I will spray product on very low corner to see if it will work or if it causes more damage. After a few minutes, it's visible that the Sealed Bank easily removed the black mold. So I continued to spray the product on the whole part and left it working for a few minutes. Then I repeated the process one more time and in the end I raised the Alcantara part with water. And here is a closer look at the treated Alcantara part compared to the non-treated part. Absolutely free of any mold. It just needs some time for drying. And the same process will be applied for the rest of the Alcantara parts. Only the headliner needs some vacuuming from the spider webs before the treatment. Here you can see the Alcantara headliner from a closer look. Again, absolutely free of any mold. Now it's soaked with a lot of water, but when it dries out, it will be amazing. I know that I didn't record the process of removing the headliner from the 7 series, but I will record the complete swap of the interior in next few episodes. And the result after it completely dried out. What do you think? I think it looks incredibly awesome. It looks almost like a new headliner. Even though the black mold remover contains the bleach, it didn't cause fading of the original color on the headliner. There is only one spot that needs to be sorted. Some lines popping out from the Alcantara. But I believe that the lint remover will take care of that. Also, we cannot forget on the other Alcantara parts. And a little detail.
And what about the rest of the interior? Shame that it cannot be done with some spray bottle as well. But anyway, I think it's a big success that the headliner could be saved with just black mold remover. Next step will be the leather on the front seats and the door panels. And that will be tough nut to crack. The armrest on the door panels will definitely need new dye, and the front driver's seat needs the bolster to be repaired, because the new bolster is no longer supplied by BMW. So that's why only way is fixing it. And as well, I'm not sure about the leather on the driver's seat. Maybe it can be stretched with a heat gun back to its previous condition when the bolster will be fixed. I'm not sure at the moment, but we will try to do something with it, rather than throw it away and then reupholster it. But let me know in the comments what would you do with it. Not just the leather issue, but the whole 7 Series. Would you save it, or would you rather use it like a donor for the 7 Series, which has much less mileage and a V8 petrol engine? Or instead sell it for the parts. Recently there was an Alcantara headliner for sale on eBay for £1,000 and it was gone in a week. Imagine that I paid £2,300 for the whole car. Maybe there would be possible chance of a profit. Even the individual steering wheel is very rare to find and pricey as well. And that one doesn't look bad. I think it could be saved just with new dye. Maybe. At least the rear seats are without any issues, almost in new condition. They look like nobody sat on them before. So anyway, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this whole mess for £2,300? What would you do with it? I wouldn't buy it in the first place. Thank you. You wanted to know what would anybody else do with it, so I just gave you the answer. I wouldn't buy it at all. Thank you again. And that is all for this episode. Thank you for watching and see you in next one.